at a car park in Neston, which is a village a few miles away from me. And we're heading today in this direction. I'll tell you in a minute where we're going to. There's a park across the way there. This isn't a disused, this is the railway line on the west side of the Wirral. Neston railway station is just about half a mile that way. So let's go. It'll be marked down parts of this as the Wirral Way, which actually goes on both sides of the Wirral Peninsula, with the Mersey on one side and the River Dee on the other. So away we go. Lovely day. As I say, that's just a little free car park in Neston village. Lovely place. And in that direction you can continue. It goes to one of my favourite pubs called the Harp Inn, which is right on the estuary of the River Dee, with a wonderful view across into Wales on the other side. And of course Williston, to say we're in Neston, that's a bigger village further down. If you like, we're going up the peninsula. You know, it calls it Willow. There's so many different names. Wirral Country Park, which is part of the Wirral Way, blah blah blah. And you can see that's only a small part we're doing. And as you can see, no, I didn't preempt that. There you see, it goes both sides of the Wirral Peninsula. Oh yeah, where are we going to? We're going to the Bat Box. I can't give it all away. There's something to do with bats, you're probably thinking. Could be, couldn't it? Lovely old iron bridge here, footbridge. We'll have a view of the road that goes through, one of them. Goes through Neston village. See these old steps leading nowhere. So obviously I reckon there was an older bridge here, and for some reason it's gone. Look, there's part of the oh, this is a railway line, I think. There's a railway line behind us, but this was probably very likely. So anyway, here we are on an old there's some kind of poetry on there, but somebody is obviously a bit bored, and you've coloured in some of the letters. They're still living their nursery life when they were about 5-year-old, preschool. Yeah. No, this is all very familiar to me. Now and again my memory comes back, and I'm in a sweat and I think, God, was I that son of a... It wasn't really that nasty, was I? Yeah, but not anymore. Only rarely do I get the flashbacks. So soon, hopefully, they're just the sound of bird song. So I'm walking back to the back box whilst I took photographs, and now I'm going. So I know exactly like I'm going, not like the other one I did, but I hadn't done for years, and there's all new housing being built. So I didn't actually do what I wanted to do. Part of it was across some meadows, but it doesn't matter, does it? It's not that important. It's not a pathway through a minefield or something like that in Kosovo, you know, so it's not that really. There was no tears. I enjoyed it. Very nice houses actually. A lot of them are terrible. No facilities for them, nothing. No bus stops, no new doctors built surgeries or anything. These lads on their bikes. Having a break. There's a lower level path here where you get to see, this is just the odd glimpse of the River Dee and the Welsh coastline on the other side. Parish Church. Yeah, resolve that problem with the gimbal for those technophobes. You couldn't do that before. It was in stages and press about 3 different buttons, and they're very small buttons, and I've got big fingers. Yeah, it's lovely. Look at that old tree there. Lovely house. And a dustbin. Oh, turn around. No, it's a waste bin. It's all right. I've got 2 choices here. One path is used mostly by the cyclists and walkers and dog walkers. Then the other one, you think, oh, I'm safe there. Not that I don't like horses. It's a bridle path, part of it. Yeah, leads down. Unfortunately, it doesn't go just straight down there. If you look, I'll zoom in. See that? It leads to the side of the Dee. You know, that's Wales over there. And you can just see that line there. That's the Dee. A lot of it, of course, is it is tidal, but a lot of it is not actually underwater. You know, there's just like a passage there. Let's go along this. More of a quieter. Don't have to look behind me for people on a bike. Not that they're any trouble. I do. I'm talking to a cyclist, as you do. He was asking me for directions as if I was some kind of guide. I told him I only take credit cards. No, I didn't. Anyway, he was talking about a way, and I was pointing out there's a path further up, and it's not direct. You go through like a small little exclusive housing place with bungalows, and so I said, yeah, unless he's got a GPS. So he decided that I said the golf club has an access path. They frown upon it, but it was there before the golf club, and they're old golf clubs, but these were, I know, are still rights of way. You just have to be aware. Hope he's all right. Just the sound of the birds singing. Looks like this spare microphone. I was so pleased with it. It was very cheap compared to the one I bought originally, that's broken. Still usable, but the manual clip doesn't work. I don't like using the magnetic clip on it. I always feel it might just be knocked off. For that reason, I've got a spare one. And it's like football. I've got my new one now. Is the main microphone. The other one is the standby. Still some noise. I don't know what it is. It could be a lawnmower, an electric one. Yeah. It's progress, isn't it? Why don't you push them? Yeah, make them. You couldn't possibly do that because electricity can't do no wrong in things like that. So now I would impose. There's nothing wrong with pushing a lawnmower unless you've got some physical attributes that prevent you from doing it. And tell them save power, have it on the TV every 5 minutes. Yeah. And it leaves those lovely little lawn paths there. Take no notice. I should be grateful that it's just that electric lawnmower, because it's just the way of the world, isn't it? There's always somebody's got that job to do, and as soon as the sun comes out, it's the power tool, isn't it? I mean, it's the big power tool, you know, the one that's cutting trees down and stuff. You can hear it about a mile away. That's not in use just at the moment. Light aircraft, that's fine. So, just a nice little stroll. I might stop somewhere on one of my favourite beaches. It's a little tiny beach. Problem is, on a day like this, if you don't see it, it means that I couldn't park there. It's a very small, tiny car park there. Good thing is, not many people know about it. Another path that leads across. Yeah, this is where I met the cyclist. He was a Scouser. See that? It's like that. When you go on, you end up going through where there's housing and you can get lost. It's not direct. A lot of the paths go directly down to the, which I can do another time. So a bit more variety then. But the main thing on this is the bat box, of course. Yeah, it's a big machine. I think it's pound coins. Doesn't take notes. You put your money in and you get yourself a bat. Yeah, you can pick them. They're all there. They drop down into a chute. They're in like a little wicker basket. Yeah. Of course, you have to have your loft already prepared for them, and a little hole in the roof or something, or some access for. Let's try the, oh, it's a zoom in it, I forgot. Yeah, what I'll do, to make it sound interesting, I'll be saying from Neston Car Park through the foliage tunnels or the tree tunnels to the bat box. Yeah. That's what they're like tunnels. Whole family here. Oh, Mum and Dad. Oh, he's avoided me. Very wise. You only need to look. More news. I've heard the bees have had a very, very bad winter this year. This is important because nearly everything from crops and fruit trees are needed. The bees are the main group that even the ones that aren't honeybees, bumblebees and that, they're more solitary, but they still propagate plants. Yep. That's about it. If you're expecting world news, you're not going to get it from me. I don't know, you must be living on Mars if you don't know. Ah, it's a tandem bike. It's good, isn't it? And a bicycle made for two. That must be Daisy and her husband. Apparently she doesn't talk much. She just says, oh, Daisy, give me an answer. Love the old sandstone bridges. Gave him a thumbs up. He's telling me he was on my right. There's a plaque on one of these bridges with Brian Stapleton on it. He's a famous man who lived here locally and science fiction writer. Can't think of the name of his most famous book. Oh yeah, and the cyclist, the Scouser cyclist. He saw Stan Boardman on his trip, walking. Stan Boardman is a famous Liverpool comedian who made the joke about the Fokkers, you know, those German aircraft. Again, you can look that up. I know there's probably many more, but I do recall a place in the Lake District, and everyone has, for some reason, hammered coins into the. It was an old tree, it wasn't growing. Just stuck in my mind. Let's go to the Lake District for a nice walk. Somebody's back gate into their garden. It's nice, isn't it? Straight onto the footpath. looks like cleavers, which is wild garlic, is it? I think it is. Well, that's a wild plant that you can gather and use it the same as ordinary garlic, including the leaves. And if you're one of these West End, you know, one of these posh, put the flowers on top of it. It's a crispy bacon rind with chestnut oil and wild garlic flowers. That'll be 40 quid, sir. Will you be having a main course? Lovely blossom on the trees there. Fantastic. Oh yes. This is great now. I've got the zoom going. It took me a while. The only real thing with this, it's not really a fault, it's on auto. So if I'm taking a zoom, if there's anything in the foreground, even like particularly a branch of a tree, it confuses the camera. It's auto, so it's trying to decide what I want. Generally you want to ignore the foreground when you zoom, but it gets confused. Nothing wrong with looking at these houses, they're not an eyesore. Maybe the fence I would have put a bit of creosote, do you remember that? One place where I lived, it was near a bus depot. I used to go there, and at one time they used to sell it, but in those days they didn't. And I used to put that on my fence with a big brush of old bus sump oil. Yeah. Still went back to where I used to live, one of the places, and it's still there. The house and the fence and actually I do miss being on this path, the very part of it. Wirral Way is a big path that loops all the way around, as I say, the Wirral, and you get horse riders. Always nice to see them. Still a bit wet. This is what the trees do, the cover. It takes a long time to get full sunlight on them. Yeah, see what I mean by these tunnels? This is more apparent here, isn't it? Look at that. Right off into, almost into infinity. I think it's only a turn, a slight curve has stopped you from seeing more. Yeah, see? Yeah. It's lovely, isn't it? Priceless. Absolutely priceless. Oh, so there's a curve. I haven't even noticed that. If I see something like wildlife or a bird nearby, I'll try and zoom in on it. But they're sort of hidden. I suppose that's a good thing. They don't know my intentions. In some parts of the world they cage them or capture them in nets. Can't see there, but there's some lovely houses you can't quite see. Quite rightly, they don't want public people on public paths staring at them. Very disconcerting. And we're getting near to the bat box, I think. See, it's not quantity on this walk, it's quality. You know, it's not about half an hour or so. There was no room in that car park when I got here. Yes, I did park around here, that's where I started. But I have parked in that other car park on another day, which I'll probably do. And now, there, I'm afraid to disappoint you, but that is a bat box, a converted pillbox that is now, and there's a sign to prove it looks like it's sealed off because there's obviously bats in it, you know. And let me see, or let you see this. The park gate, as if there's like hundreds of others. Well, this is a park gate bat box. You know, if there was one nearby, there'd be bat gangs, wouldn't there? You know, maybe not. I like the cute little illustration. Look, there's me with my hat on. I'm always good, my image, when it's a silhouette. Yeah, it's, you know, leaves a lot more to your imagination then, doesn't it? I mean, if you want to zoom this, and if you want to visit the bat box, you know, there we are, the pipistrelle bat, and long-eared bat as well. They're most likely to see those two, the pipistrelle and the long-eared bat. There we are, so there you go, it's not a myth. And I'm parked across that road there at the start of another walk, so I won't film that. Keep it, and then you can have a look at the park gate sign as well before we sign off. It was a railway line, there you go, see? The first train from Hooton, that's even nearer towards me, that's about a mile or so away from me. Oh, to Parkgate, which is a lovely place, that's further up the coast. We've got Nest and Parkgate Further down there's Waverton, and then Hooton, which is near me, or nearer. There we go. If you want to zoom in and see this, this is a lovely place for a little walk. And there's other pathways that will take you down to the Dee and the Welsh coast on the other side of the Dee. And there's the Harp Inn. There's other pubs in Neston, but I like the Harp Inn. It's they're all great pubs, but it's just the view as well. It is very busy, but I know somewhere where you can park, no matter how busy it is. And it's called the Rope Walk car park. There we go, see? And that road, I think, across the way there is called the Rope Walk. But there is a path, like I say, that leads off. So there we are. Lovely, nice little walk. Thanks for joining me. You can subscribe, it doesn't cost anything. Or you can just pick and choose, because they're very varied. You know, you might not want to see a dead basking shark on the beach at New Brighton, something like that. But I do that, the ferry trips or something, I do that. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.